So it's just like the best practices. We try to keep it, and anywhere can just go ahead and unmute themselves and try to add. Okay. Can you confirm? Are you able to view now?
Yes, sorry, I can see. Yeah, we'll move to the second slide, Hari. Yeah. So here, as I said, there are many life skill mentioned: presentation, time management, communication, conflict, social intelligence. So would any of you like to unmute and tell me why these life skills are needed? We'll consider first presentation. Why is presentation considered as one of the important life skills? Anybody would like to share your experience or thoughts also?
Yeah, we request the audience to be interactive and engaging so that like we have a meaningful conversation here. You can just break the ice and get started. There is nothing right or wrong. Whatever you feel like according to you, you can just go ahead and speak out.
Right. Nothing right or wrong. Nobody is judging here. It's just in discussion forum type. We can say that. Just sharing our experience and thoughts. Neha, Firdaus, Murshita, anybody would
So,
like to
so
take up why
if you don't
presentation we
speak out,
feel as
yeah,
a
if you don't speak out, we will
important
be
skill
forced
set?
to call you.
It gives the opinion about the person. So it is very much needed to give more importance on the presentation, how we present ourselves.
Yeah, actually, I've got disconnected. So, can you explain me what?
Yeah, we are just asking, like, according to you, what does it, the presentation skills means? So we just want to hear out from you. What does the presentation skill means? You can just explain your own words and we'll take it forward from there.
Yeah, means presenting whatever your new ideas are there, or means what is your main motto, everything what you are going to say, that you are presenting in a systematical manner.
Yep, great.
Correct. Sorry, may I know your name, please?
Firdaus.
Firdaus. Yeah, Firdaus. Very rightly said that presentation is very important. So when I say presentation, what first thing comes in your mind? What is presentation? Is it how you are presenting yourself in form of your attire, your body language, or presentation is something which you are showing, some content wise presentation? So what first comes to your mind when I say presentation?
Presenting ourselves,
Yes.
body
So
language.
that's the okay. So that's the first thing which comes in the mind when I say presentation. We
Yeah.
are presenting. So nowadays it's all virtual, so there is nothing we have to present. It's all in our voice only. But when it was not in a virtual, when it was a physical world, we used to present ourselves in front of, the interviewer. We used to be, presenting ourselves in form of a attire. We should be formally dressed up, clean, tidy hair, properly tuck in shirts, properly laced shoes for guys. So this is the thing which comes to our mind when I say presentation. How well we are presenting. So it is not only about the dress, the hair, the shoes. It is also the way we talk, the way we sit, the way we communicate. So all these things comes into the package and what is called presenting. That is called presenting ourselves. There is other side of presentation. When I say presentation, it is like when I'm saying you something, I'm trying to present you some content, I'm trying to showcase you or deliver some content to you. So whenever I'm delivering some content to you, I should be aware of who my audience is, number one. Number two, I should be having, some visual representation, something you can relate to. Me keeping on talking, you might not relate, right? Your mind can go away and think about something else. What is my kid doing? What am I supposed to cook or something or the other? So if I'm presenting some visual thing to you, so whatever I'm talking, you can, okay, she's talking about life skill and she's talking about presentation. Okay, this is I can relate. So this is another side of presentation. The presentation is, one is presenting ourselves in a good way, in an etiquette manner, communication wise. And other skill set of presentation is content preparation, effectively preparation and doing a background or a homework before doing a presentation to my audience. So those are the two things which comes when I say presentation skill. Agree with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right now, so for example, we all are experienced persons, so none of us are students. So if I start talking to you like, what is presentation definition, if I start giving you the definition and I will start it from the very roots for you, so it might sound boring for you because you already are into this field. You know what exactly is presentation, what we need to do. Maybe I can deliver you the best practices of presentation. So one of the important thing of presentation is knowing the audience, connect with the audience, and giving some points to understand. When I say points to understand, in maybe in form of a PPT, maybe in form of some pointers, which can help the audience to relate to you what you are talking onto the screen or onto the blackboard or to the white screen, whichever you are sharing with your audience. So that is all about presentation. Any thoughts, any comments before moving to any other topic? Okay, I'll take the silence as a yes. We'll move to another important thing, time management. So, for me, I would be, I love, I love to be a woman, right? So I love all the women. So I would always talk on that side. So I don't know, woman has this capacity or capability of effective time management. So do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, Rupa.
So I feel that women has been blessed with this time management capacity. They can do multitasking, they can effectively manage the time, they can finish their household chores, they can finish their deliverables on time, and at the end of the day they can take out some time for their fitness also. So we know we are well equipped with it, but with each and every day passes on, we should also sharpen the skill of time management, effectively time management, doing things in a clean quality deliverables, be it anything in the sense cooking, taking care of your kids, deliverables, self learning for yourself, or fitness also. So everything we should deliver it in a very clean, on time and quality, and with a proper quality analysis. So that is called time management, and nothing new, but each and every time or each and every day as it passes on, we should further sharpen our time management skill, to do the things in a more effective, in a more presentable, in a more world class, first class format to be delivered. So that is one of the other life skills, I would say, that is called time management. Any thoughts, any comments on this?
So if
No,
not, I have a
Rupanjali.
question for if not, I have a question for the audience. Let's assume a scenario where you are working on certain task and there are a couple of tasks, around 3 to 4 tasks are there, and the priority wise, they may differ. So how exactly you are going to deal with those tasks actually? The deadline is tomorrow and you have got around 3 to 4 tasks, and their priority is different. One is P1, the other one is P2, and the other one is P3 and P4. So how exactly you are going to meet the deadline, that is tomorrow? All these tasks needs to be delivered tomorrow itself. So I just want to hear from the audience how they are going to deal with them. Maybe we'll start with Kaveri. So Kaveri, what do you feel as I just gave a scenario? There are 4 tasks: P1, P2, P3, P4. T1, T2, T3, T4 are the task, and priority is P1, P2, P3, P4. So how do you deal with them? The deadline is tomorrow around by 5 p.m. All 4 needs to be delivered.
So, Hari, what I will do is I will prioritize that task like P1, P2, P3. So based on that priority, So I will take the first task and I'll try to complete that. Pre-ahead, I'll put some, do some analysis, and first I'll see like how much time each task will take.
Okay, great. And in case, like, for example, there are two tasks which has got the same priority, and how about them? Like, how do you want to deal with them?
That's what I will do the analysis and see like how much time each task will take, and based on that, I will start picking up the task. But
Okay.
when some task is taking, say, like half a day, then maybe probably I'll have to prioritize like which half day I have to give for that, something like that. So based on the hours, so I can even though it has a high priority, and if it is taking only just half an hour to complete, then maybe I will do that at the last.
Okay. Any other factors which you can think, Kaveri, apart from that, whatever you just discussed?
Sorry, any other?
Any other factors which you can think apart from whatever you just spoken?
Okay.
So when we
Maybe-
analyze, like, we need to identify the external parties and we need to identify the dependencies. So based on that also, like, we need to take a decision, right? For example, there is a priority, high priority task, but in case, let's assume that there is some kind of dependency on external party. So definitely, like, we need to reach out to them well in advance, so that, like, whatever the info on which we are awaiting, we have it handy in order for us to accomplish that particular task. So generally what I do is, like, when I prepare some kind of activities that I want to do tomorrow, I will just check, like, whatever the tasks that have external dependencies, I will try to close those tasks which has got external dependency first, because, like, everyone needs some kind of time for them to get ready and start working on the respective task to which they are responsible. So if we keep them well in advance, informed about this particular activity, what they can do is, like, they can also plan, I think, at their end. So it's all about, like, organizing them in such a fashion that high priority tasks are prioritized and they are scheduled to be delivered in the very weekly. And in case if there are any external dependencies which we need to take care, we need to ensure that we communicate those persons well in advance, so that at their end they are ready to perform their respective tasks. So this is something which I can think of. Maybe Father can chime in, and if they want to add any perspective, we are fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Any other
with res- If there are no questions, I think we can move ahead, Rupanjali.
Sure, Hari. Yeah. Yeah. So there is one more life skill called social intelligence. So I won't put question to the audience now. I'll just brief it out, and then I would take thoughts from all of you. So social intelligence is nothing but I mean, how an individual interacts with outside people. So the other people or outside people can be known audience or unknown audience. They can be complete strangers or known faces, but not fully acquainted. So how we interact, how we communicate, how we establish a friendly environment, and how we handle the situation of dealing with all this type of different type of people is nothing but social intelligence. So I would like you to tell me, like, for example, you have joined in a company for the very first time. So this is your first company you have joined in. So what all things you should take into consideration while interacting with your office colleagues? So they are totally new to you. So what all things you should consider while you are interacting with your office colleagues? Anybody would like to unmute yourself and let us know?
This time we'll go with Divya. Divya Arora, would you like to answer this question by Rupa?
Yeah, hi all. So first of all, I will get to know more about them, like their background and like their nature. First of all, I will talk with them more, like, and after that, once I get to know about them, then I will talk about the work related stuff.
Great.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
so initially, like we'll get started with something known as a small talk actually. So small talk is something like where we introduce ourselves, and at the same time we will try to understand the other person also. So as man is a social animal, we always love to do things in groups. We don't really like enjoy, or we don't really like to spend time in isolation. We mostly want to do things in groups. So whenever like we wanted to get connected with the other person, the first thing we will try to look out is like what is common between us and as well as the new person. So first we'll ask like we'll just introduce ourselves, and at the same time we'll try to find out the details from the other person also, and we'll see like what are the common areas of interest or common areas on which we can further explore our relationship with that particular person. So that's how it all gets started. And once we feel comfortable with that small talk, what happens is like over a period of time, the bonding or the relationship is going to evolve. And then like based on our comfort, again, like we'll just prioritize, or we'll just select like with whom do we really wanted to spend more time compared to like with other persons whom we don't really prefer to spend more time. So that's how in general, like at least in my experience, I had encountered, I had experienced actually. So it's all about like the common area of interest which brings in the people together. And again, yes, at workplace, definitely like first we'll come to know about each other, and at the same time, based upon the context of that particular project or task or activity, definitely we need to keep up the open communication, and we need to interact frequently, which will enable us to deliver the respective deliverables with the quality. Otherwise, like if there is any kind of a gap with respect to not communicating or keeping them well in advance informed about that particular activity or project, it's going to negatively impact our deliverables. Yeah, Rupanjali, do you want to add anything, Rupanjali?
No, Hari, very well explained. So I'll just summarize those things into points.
Sorry, Rupanjali, I think like we didn't elaborate on communication and conflict management actually. At least conflict management, I think like we need to
Yes.
discuss.
Yes, Hari, we'll go to all the points actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will just summarize the social intelligence thread. Like so whenever we interact with anybody, known or unknown, the first thing we should give is respect to the other person. The other person could be a known, unknown, you know, boss, colleague, friend, relative, anybody. So we should give respect to that person, and then we should empathize with the person. So it might be happening that he might be undergoing in some bad situation or a bad mood, so we need to listen to that person, empathize that person, and then with our core skills, when I say core skills, with the behavior, we should be able to, you know, connect with the person, connect with the situation, and, you know, try to make him feel comfortable, feel him relax, and then maybe you can start off with your conversation of what good, bad, all thing happen, how you can help them, and all these things. So all these things are nothing but social intelligence. The way we the way which we by which we are interacting with the audience, the intelligence of the intelligence by which we connect to the society. So that is nothing but social intelligence. So everybody is very much well versed with that. Only thing is we need to know in which scenario, what type of situation we should be using what type of techniques, you know, to overcome that. For example, a person is in a very bad state of mind, so what are we supposed to do in that situation? So we should be able to understand that even though it's a known or unknown, we should be knowing what all ways we can do to, you know, make that person understand, you know, comfortable, and, you know, speak out. So how we deal with such type of situation is nothing but social traits. So we won't be going detail into all these topics. So yeah, so as Hari said, one of the most important concept, I would say life skill, I would say anything, is called communication. Um, so here I won't be talking. I would like the audience or the participants to do the talking. I would like to understand why, how, and what are the effective skill sets of communication, because we all were very experienced persons. So anybody, should I pick anybody or anybody can volunteer?
So I'll just tell my views. Maybe others can add to that. So communication is very important because if there is any gap, if we are not able to communicate, like so it can be anything like task or whatever it might be. So we have to tell it in the proper way that the other person has to understand what we are, what is the procedure, whatever we are telling. It can be a task also. So if we are not doing that properly, then the other person will not be able to take it up, will not, maybe even they can do it wrongly also. So that is the thing that I feel communication is very, very important. So if there is any gap, the other person can miss. And also it also tells about ourselves also. We can showcase our how we are. Maybe I'm a narrow-minded or a broad-minded, whatever. Yeah, those things also can be understood based on our communication.
Right, Kaveri.
Great.
So you are absolutely correct. In communication, we actually tell the other person what we are. So in communication, there are two type of audience. One is a speaker, like here I am the speaker, I'm trying to communicate something to you, and you are my audience who is actually listening. So there is two things happening here. You are listening and I'm speaking. But when I'm speaking something gibberish and you're not able to understand that, there is no point in my communication. Point number one. So that should be clear. My communication, my way of talking should be clear, concise, precise, and I should not be throwing jargons, so that might happen, right? I belong to a different region, so I would be putting some jargons which are very uh, particular to my region, so that might mislead the audience. They might not be understanding. It might be good side or it might have a bad side. So we should not be throwing jargons or heavy vocabularies which might confuse the audience again. So communication is a two-way flow of information. Audience, the communicator, the speaker, and the listener, who is my audience. The communication should be pure, simple English, not jargon, not gibberish, not heavy vocabulary. My audience should be able to understand what I'm trying to communicate to them. That is communication enough, and we are done with it. I don't have to, put on heavy jargon, tones, bulls, all those things to make you understand. I'm telling simple English, pure English, clean English, and you're able to understand it. My mission is accomplished. This is all about communication in a nutshell. Agree?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So one of other important skill is conflict management. So we encounter it every day in our life, right? Be it our home, be it in our
Yeah,
office. There's a conflict. There is a conflict between mother and the kid. You have to eat this. No,
correct.
I don't want to eat. So you have to make the kid convinced why he should eat that. So it should be a win-win situation. So in conflict management, it's not like I will be hitting the other person down and knock him out and make him do my thing. No, that is not conflict management. Conflict management is both parties win. It should be a win-win situation. The mother is happy that the kid has ate in a proper nutritive manner. The kid should be happy that, yeah, I ate my junk and snacky thing which I wanted to eat. So it should be a win-win situation. So the same thing applies in every sphere of our life: employee, colleague, friends, boss and employee. So whenever you want to absorb your idea to your boss might not be in the mood of absorbing that. So you need to understand his mood. You should talk in that tone. Look for the proper time when you can speak to your boss and make him absorb your idea, understand the idea, and also at the same time you should be open for suggestions, comments, changes, or anything. So that is conflict management.
This is an area of interest for me actually. Like if someone can help me understand. In case, for example, there are two parties which doesn't want to disagree. Most of the time, they want to disagree actually. So how do we deal with that situation actually? If any one of you can just go ahead and try to elaborate that. So there are two parties, party one and party two, two persons. So they just don't want to come together and to a common ground and get it closed. How do we deal such kind of scenarios or situations? And trust me, this is one of the interview question I encountered within the last couple of months. So I'm just awaiting for a very good response or answer. If someone can help me with that. Nandini, maybe you want to give a try, Nandini, with respect to the scenario I just Sorry to put you on spot. Vaishali, maybe you want to give a try. I just gave a scenario. There are two persons, P1 and P2, and they are in disagreement. They don't want to really come to a common ground and close the respective issue or whatever that they are just trying to deal with.
Maybe based on the suggestion of the person one and person two, I'm not sure like on what basis, or maybe
Yeah.
like a task basis or like any
Yes, it generally
Something.
happens, right? Within the projects, like within a team, generally there is a kind of competition, right? Like for example, two persons are there within the team and they are trying to do some kind of task, and it is not assigned to any specific person. So it's just they are working as a team, and they just want to prove, one person want to prove that I am more experienced or I am more seasoned compared to the other one, and this is the right way of doing, and the same other person also thinks the same. So in such cases or such scenarios, in general, I just want to hear out from you if there is nothing right or wrong, but especially as I said, this is one of the question which I encountered within the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And again, I explained it
I-
in my fashion, but I just wanted to hear out from the larger forum also.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Neha, you want to
think,
go?
yeah. I will understand the both point of view and come in a midway. So I will understand the scenario and understand the situation and come in the midway where the both
Yeah, this
point
is
of
what
view
just now
will.
Rupanjali said, it's a win-to-win situation for both the parties, correct? Apart from that, if they are adamant and if they don't want to really, as I said, want to come on the common ground, how do we deal with that?
Can we take the help of the other, I mean, the third person?
Mediation,
So that
okay.
yeah, so
Okay,
that
yeah.
because their perspective will be a little bit different, so he can see in both the ways, right? So they can give us some suggestion, like maybe this is better, this is, we can pick one from the from one person and the other from the other person, whichever is better. And maybe so that both of them will get convinced, because both are not getting rejected, so they both can be convinced like that, some part from this person, some part from that person.
Yeah, definitely agree with you, Kaveri. To some, at least I also agree with your opinion. So that's where we call it as mediation or arbitration, wherein both the parties will reach out to someone whom they trust and whom they believe that that person is going to do justice to both of them, and they can just go ahead and give a try to get onto the common ground using this approach. Great. Yep. Thank you. And I think in the interest of time, we will move forward. Over to you, Rupanjali.
Thank you, Hari. Nicely spoken. Right. So we'll move to some other important skill sets which we need in our interview. So I'll just rush to all the topics because we are very much well versed with all these topics. So for interview skills also, you see communication is also one of the important skills which is needed. So again, as I said, the interviewer should be understanding what you're trying to convey. You should be able to understand that is most important part of an interview. So communication is an important concept or aspect of any interview. So another thing is resume. So before we go to our interview, we should be, we should have an updated resume in the latest format. There are various formats available in many of the sites. You can pick any of the formats, and you should keep your resume up to date. You should have one hard copy of your resume also with you when you are moving or when you are going to an interview, a physical interview. So that is also one important thing, resume writing. And another thing, professional email writing. So whenever we start our career in our corporate world, so we should be knowing what are the do's and don'ts of writing a personal professional email. We know how to write an email, right? Personal, we can write it in any way, depending upon how the frequency is with the audience to whom we are writing it. But in terms of professional email, we should be writing in the body, it should be having a header, salutation, it should be having a body, it should be having a concluded line, footer. It should have a proper subject line. It should not, deviate, or it should not be too lengthy. The subject line should be to the point, so that it interests the audience or the person who is receiving the email to open that email. So these are certain do's and don'ts we should always observe when we are writing a professional email. We should not be writing lengthy, Bollywood stories. We should not be putting all those things in our email. It should be to the point. Whatever topics you want to cover, if there are multiple topics, maybe you can put it in bullet points so that it can catch the eye attention of the email reader. So these are certain do's and don'ts. I'm not going to go deep dive into all these topics. Next is how we can start for a job search. For example, you're looking for a job. This is your second phase of your job search. So how we are going to start for a job search? First of all, we should keep a resume intact, handy, up to date. It should have a proper email ID. It should have a proper phone number, verified phone number. Then we should go to all the legitimate sites. We should not go to here and there sites and get, fooled ourselves by people. People can take advantage of each and every situation here. So we should be going to legitimate sites, search for our job, and make use of our contacts which we have from our previous organization, our friends. Make use of good social sites like LinkedIn or Naukri.com. So these are some good ways or effective ways to start your job search phase. We'll move to the next slide, Hari. Okay. Yeah, modes of interview and readiness. So nowadays, initially there was only one mode of interview, and that was physical mode of interview. But nowadays, because of COVID, so we are having multiple ways or multiple platform of doing interview. One can be physical, which is called face to face. The other is virtual. Again, in virtual, we have telephonic, we have Skype, we have WebEx. So many other forums have come into picture when I say virtual. So for making an effective virtual interview, so we should make sure of small things so that it doesn't leave a bad impression on the interviewer, like your connectivity. You should be ahead of your time. You should connect a little early, and you should go into a place where there is less or zero background noise. Early connect, and eye contact. We can't see eye contact in a telephonic interview, but we can see the eye contact in a virtual WebEx, video mode interview. So in that case, you should be sitting upright, straight, with proper eye contact with the interviewer. So all these things are small things which we should take care in a virtual interview. In a face-to-face interview, as I told, presentation, the first thing. So presentation, body language, eye contact, the way you groom yourself, attire. You should give a firm handshake, always reach before time. So these are small things which we know, but again, we are just brushing it up for the sake so that we don't forget it. The more we keep on brushing all these things, this will always remain in a subconscious mind. And when we actually go to an interview, we never miss anything. So these are certain checkpoints we should take care of that before going to an interview. The next slide, Hari, please. Right. So personality trait. So what is personality trait? So personality trait is nothing but the way who you are, or the way you want others to presume. Like, this is Rupanjali. So how can I do that? So I can do that the way I talk, the way I absorb others ideas or other talking, the way I listen to them, uh, the way I give them a feedback, or the way I deliver my things to somebody else. So if if my things are easily absorbed and they easily understand my things, then I'm a good communicator. So, and I clearly speak about what I think about my idea or what is there in my thought. I'm very assertive in my speaking. So there is nothing right, nothing wrong. I speak what is there in my mind in a clean way, and I'm open to ideas. When I say open to ideas, I share my ideas, I take suggestions from other, I mix both of them. So I don't have a ego thing coming into my picture when I say I'm openness. And creativity, like reinventing new ideas, reinventing the old thing into a new format. So all these things, they might be in you, while you are born, or all these things can be nurtured with time also. You don't have to, say that, oh, I don't have all these skill sets with me. So how am I going to do all these things? So all these things are nothing born. So you can. Uh, Sorry, Hari, you are saying something. I'm getting distracted with the chat.
Sorry, please go ahead, Rupanjan. Sorry for that.
So yeah. So all these things are not characteristics which we get by birth. We can also develop all these things in the due course of time, with the way we approach people, the way we do things. So all these things we can develop. So it's nothing that, oh, I don't have it. I can develop it in the due course of time, and I need to develop all these things to have a bright career or future in every aspect wherever I go, be it corporate, be it any public service department, anywhere I go. All these traits are going to be helpful to me only. So these are some of the personality traits: creativity, openness, optimism, always thinking the positive side of the thing, not thinking that the glass is, half empty. I can say the glass is half full. So all these are some of the important things. Yeah, we don't do handshake in a virtual interview, but the way we say good morning, good afternoon, all these things also matters. Virtual interview is all about voice, right? You can't see me now. We are in a virtual world, right? But with my voice, you must be able to understand that I'm talking very openly. I'm interestingly talking to my audience. I'm listening to what my audience is saying. All these things you can understand with the voice modulation only. So, for example, I'm saying, hello, how are you doing? So it shows that I have least interest with my audience. If I say, hey, hi, how are you doing? So this shows I am very much interested with my audience. I want to talk to my audience. So with this voice modulation only, the other person can understand whether you are interested or you are interested in listening to the person or not. So you can understand in due course of time. So since like in 2 years we are into this virtual mode, so phone is everything to us. So in this phone only, we smile, and the other person can understand, oh, she's smiling now. She's not in a very good mood. So you will slowly understand when when you are into this mode for a longer period of time. You will slowly understand the voice modulation also. Yeah. So this is all about personality trait. We'll move forward quickly, Hari.
Sure, Rupanjan.
Yeah. So this is one important technique which we do in our, I would say, in the interview thing. We always take care of all this thing. So this is called the STAR technique. STAR technique is nothing but what does S stands for? S is situation. Situation means describing a situation that you have already encountered. So we always have this question from the interviewer, like, did you encountered any tough scenario, any tough development thing which you have done? So you have to explain that situation. That's describing a situation which you have already encountered. That is called the S, as in situation in the star. Then the T stands for task. You have to describe how that difficult thing or the difficult task you have encountered, and how you have overcome that situation, what was the importance of that situation, and how you overcome that situation. That is called task. Describe the task that the situation requires and why it was important. That is called task. Then there is action. What action you took to overcome that obstacle. That comes under A, which is called action. And the result is, what was the outcome you achieved? Was it a successful? Do you categorize that as a success thing or a failure thing? Any best practice you overcome? So this is called the STAR technique. It's a very structured response which is used for selection in interview purpose. when they ask you this question and the way you answer to this question, that helps the interviewer to understand that whether this person is having that skill set of handling a difficult scenario. We might not be successful in overcoming that difficult scenario, but we can showcase ample number of ways. Some might be fruitful, some might not be fruitful, but we should not fall short of ideas. So that is the main important thing here, which the interview can very well judge and find out who is the right candidate for that particular situation. So this is all about the STAR technique. Any questions on the STAR technique? It's a little new, I think so. If anybody has any questions.
Yeah, not question, Rupanjali, but I just wanted to convey that this technique is very helpful. And as I said, like generally, any interviewer, they will ask this question: what is the toughest situation or the challenging situation that you have encountered in your experience, and how did you deal with that? So what you need to do is like just list down the top or 2 or 3 challenges as part of your project deliverables, and try to present the answer using the STAR technique: the situation, task, action, and then followed by the last one. That will really help. That is the result. So if you answer this question as Rupanjali said in a structured fashion, it gives the impression to the interviewer that they are seasoned, they are experienced, and they would be able to cope up any new challenges that they may encounter in the upcoming projects or activities. So anyone has got any kind of thoughts or suggestions around this? Okay, if not, we'll move ahead.
Sure, Hari. So we'll find out some decoding success thing. Interview time, what we do during the interview, before the interview, and after the interview. So what are we supposed to do? So as we know, like before interview, we have to search for our job. We should keep our resume updated. We should use our networking, personal, professional, social, and any other LinkedIn type of networking. We can make use of those networking. You should always try to take mock interviews. Like once you have given an interview, you understand the flow of the interview. What are they going to ask you? So you can have some mock interviews with your friends, with whom you are feeling comfortable. If not, you can do a video recording of your own self or by standing in front of a mirror. So you can do mock interviews. Always prepare for your answers. So you should prepare the answer in such a way that it does not feel like you are beating around the bush. It should be to the point and accurate. Like if somebody asks you in a sequel question, what is the left join, what is the right outer join, so you should be able to tell that answer in a clear format with a simple example. You should not beat around the bush. There is a table, x table, y table, so don't build on stories. I have encountered situation wherein the person is very much well versed with all these things, but he just get you know no, he does not get inducted because he's not able to explain his answer in a very clear format. That's the reason, always prepare your answers. It should not be too much lengthy, it should not be too confusing, to the point and accurate. And the most important thing, as per your skill set, you should search for your job. So it doesn't mean that I have done something using for example, I'm not a testing I haven't worked on testing automation, maybe Selenium, but somewhere I've used Selenium and I found that there is a job requirement for Selenium, so I'm not supposed to apply for that job. So you should always match your skill sets and the job description and then apply for those interviews. So that is the before interview preparedness things which we should consider. Everybody good till this point? Anybody has any thoughts, suggestions, ideas? Okay, I'll move forward then. So during the interview, we know what we are supposed to do. We should always keep our resume up to date. It should always give facts and figures accurately. So if I have taken a break between my jobs, so I should clearly mention so and so period I have taken the break for so and so reason. So it should be clearly proper facts and figures. whatever good thing I know, my achievement, I got a gold award for so and so thing. So I should be clearly mentioning all these things, important things, achievement things in my resume, which clearly depicts that Rupanjali has taken this amount of days break for maternity. She is good in such and such concepts and such technical things. She has this training and she has enrolled for all this training. So they should clearly be mentioned in my resume. No fake figures. All proper, correct, and fact figures should be there. If you need to put any examples, you can always put example in a very less number of lines, maybe one liner or two liner. It should not be long question answers. And when you are in the interview room, you should always listen what the person is asking you. So listening carefully, don't panic if there are questions which we don't know, because it's not necessary that we know everything, because there are n number of things, n number of changes happening in technology also. So there might be a new changes happened in the particular technology, you are not aware of it. So just don't lose your focus, stay calm, and you can always say in a very polite manner that I have worked till this version of the particular tool. So this is a newer version. I don't have much information on that, but I can do gather information. So always tell the answer in a very positive way, not saying a direct no. You can say that I can very well do that. I might not, I might need some more time. So always stay calm. Voice modulation is very important, as I said, and always at the end of the interview, conclude it with a positive note, saying that it was my privilege, having an interview with so and so company. I was looking forward to work with this company. So always end it with a positive note, so that it gives a good impression on the interviewer, as well as it makes you feel good. And by doing this, you are actually creating a network for yourself. It might happen that you're not been through for this particular interview, but there might be any other calls from the same company. Because of your this positive approach, calmness, the way you talk, you might get one more call or one more scope or one more chance of doing interview with the same company. So those are small things. We should just take care of it. And after the interview is done, we should not say tata bye bye. I don't know this company, who you are. So after the interview is done, maybe after 3 4 days, we can drop a follow up mail to the HR. And supposing the HR says that unfortunately you are not been through to it, that's absolutely fine. This one door is closed, there might be many other doors open for us. We can always say a thank you note. We can drop a thank you note to the HR, and do let us know if there are any further openings in your company. So that gives, networking, personal relationship. You build a touch with them, and they will be coming back to you if there are any other requirements in that company. So small things, but it matters a lot. Yeah. Any questions till this point?
I just have a small question here that I always have a doubt that suppose if I on the spot, if when there is a question thrown on me, and if I don't know the answer for any, like even for technical also, uh, so how should we respond for that? That is one main doubt that I have.
Yeah, so similar situation happens with us also, because it's not necessary that we know everything.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you one scenario for myself. So I got interviewed for a technology called Tableau. Okay, so they asked me certain questions which I was well versed with it. Then they started moving on to the little more higher version of the Tableau, a little more advanced features of the Tableau. So I said them that I've worked on the very basic concepts. I have not gone till that level, but I need some more time to practice, because I have learned Tableau in a time span of just 3 to 4 months. I can very well grasp those things. And in this IT world, everything is flat. So today I'm working on this technology. Tomorrow I will be moving to a next technology. So this learning phase for us is very quick. We adapt to this like a chameleon. We just change our color. We understand the technology and start working and delivering to our clients. So we can say it in a very positive note that I am not sure at this point of time, but given a little time frame, I would be able to take it up. So maybe in that way we can close it, rather saying no, I
Correct.
don't know that.
Yes.
Any
Yes.
thoughts, Hari?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Rupanjali. Whatever you said is the best way to express that. Actually, we can just simply say that yes, I didn't got an opportunity to work on the specific feature or implementation, but with my expertise, as Rupanjali said, I can quickly learn and adapt to the situation, and deliver that whatever the new feature or implementation that is in question.
Okay, thank you.
A pleasure. Okay, so we had some post-interview, pre-interview things. Now we will encounter some common mistakes. We know everything, but still then we do some very common mistakes. I would say silly mistakes also in this physical mode of interview. In virtual mode of interview, the network connectivity, a low background noise. So these we know. But when we do in a physical interview, there are some common mistakes which we do. Like in virtual also. So whenever we are giving an interview, it is most important that we should know about the company. Without knowing what Bank of America is, I can't go and give interview. Maybe I can clear the first round, second round, third round, but when the HR round comes in, they would be expecting to know something about the company, why I want to join this company. So it's always better to understand the company. You should know what the company is all about. If not the sales and quarterly figures, you don't have to go till that depth. But what Bank of America actual does, what is the purpose of what business they deal with it, all these basic things we can know about it. So knowing about it's not mentioned here, I just spoke it out. So this is one important thing. Knowing about the company is one of the important thing. One thing which we all know, but we always do that, it's arriving late. you know Network issues, because of network issue I was not able to join the call on time. No, that is not a very good, or uh, polite answer. That is not at all an answer to be given. You should always keep your things plan A. If it's not working, we should always have a plan B ready. Okay, so if you know that there is traffic in between the office and your home route, you should always start before time. It's always necessary to arrive at the interview spots 15 to 20 minutes early. It's always good. I always reach 30 minutes prior to the interview. I settle down, calm myself, take a glass of water, check what all people are doing, make myself comfortable. That takes 30 minutes of my time. So it's always prefer to reach 30 minutes before in the venue for any physical interview. And what else? Yeah, not doing your research, ignoring everyone beside the interview, giving unstructured and irrelevant answer, speaking negatively about the correct. So all these things we know, right? I'm leaving the previous company. It doesn't mean that I should be talking bad about that company. You never know. The HR who is going to take your interview would be coming from that organization. So we should never speak negative about anybody, be it a company, be it any person. We should not speak negative in the to anybody at any place. It's not that only in interview we should not be speaking. Anywhere we should never speak negative about anybody. And yeah, as I said, clear, crisp, to the point answer. These are the most important things. But we commonly do a mistake. There are few other things which I would say comes under this mistake category. Is not showing your eagerness, or low energy. Oh, okay, good afternoon, how are you doing? So this it's not showing me that I'm in a very energetic mood, or I'm very elated to have this interview. So you should display that amount of energy. That should be passing. You should be passing that positive energy to the audience or to the interviewer. You should be knowing that, oh, she or he is very much happy or excited to be in this interview. The body language should be positive. It should not be sluggish, lethargic. Like, it should not be like that. Properly groomed, attire wise, hair, tie, shoes, belt, dress, everything should be properly tucked in, polished, clean. Resume should be up to date. The numbers, the facts and figures, the email ID, the phone number, all should be up to dated and should have legitimate values. It should not be fuzzy and fake. And one very small thing, but I have observed bad mouthing. So it's very funny, but I have seen people. uh, I don't know whether they have brushed their teeth or not, but they have this bad mouthing thing. So uh, they speak uh, gibberishly. So all and and they speak negative about people. So all these things come under that bucket. So just be cautious about that, and don't boost yourself. I got a goal, I got a so and so things. So don't boost too much. You never know, that might fall back on you. So don't boost too much. Don't give too much of information. Whatever has been asked, just answer it to the point. And always try to follow up, because that's the thing which many people don't even care about it. I started observing since before getting into this company. So never forget to follow up. Follow up should not be too much aggressive. It should not be zero. It should be in a very nominal way. Like after doing the interview, 3-4 days prior after that, you can just drop a note knowing what is the status of that. So these are small things which we know, but again, I would say we always fall short of it because that is not in our subconscious mind. So we keep on doing all this mistakes. I think we are ahead of time, Hari. Should I run? Next slide we have.
Yeah, sure, Rupanjali. And I also need a couple of minutes actually before we close. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yes, Hari. So next is workplace culture. So whenever we are into this workplace, we know what all things are of high importance. You see, supportive is been written in the capital is it's not in capital, but it is little the font size is little bigger than rest of the things. So this is the most important thing, supporting. Next is collaborative. Next is communication. Then we have called trust, kindness, welcoming, patience, encouraging. So all these packaged together forms the workplace culture. So you can't say that I'm supportive, but I can't collaborate with others. I'm not good in communication. So you need to have all packaged together to have a positive work culture so that you will also enjoy working. Other people also will enjoy working with you. We'll move to the next slide, Hari. Now we are done. Thank you so much. So as I said earlier, so all these things are not new to us. We are already aware of all these things. The only thing is it's not in our subconscious mind. That's the reason we tend to forget all these things. Once we start feeding all this thing into our subconscious mind, it will be always there, and we will, start up our day with all these positive feelings that will also been passed to our audience, to our employees, to our friends. They will also reciprocate that and give the same to us. Thank you. Over to
Sure.
you, Hari.
Thanks, Rupanjali. I will just need a couple of minutes. I just wanted to cover quick bits related to the interview. Then we'll close it at 12:10. So one important question that we frequently encounter is like introduce about yourself or tell me something about yourself. So what we just need to focus is like we can just start with the greetings and then followed by like thanking them for the opportunity, and at the same time covering the education, experience, and any kind of certifications or accomplishments that we have so far. So this will give a precise glimpse about our profile to the interviewer, and based on that they can shoot any further questions. And a couple of other quick questions which I can think about is like what is your strength and weakness. So in general, like people may become emotional and they can just go ahead and start speaking about their wellness. But the best approach or best practice is like we can just give our strength, and at the same time, when it comes to the weakness, we can just say like whatever the strength that we called out, it might be sometimes proving to be a weakness for us because of overindulging in that strength or such kind of scenario. And then quickly moving on, the last one is like where do you see yourself after 5 years in our company? So in general, like people ask this question just to understand like what is your reliability with respect to association to that particular organization who are planning to hire you. So the preferred answer or the best practice is like we can just say that yes, I would like to take up additional responsibilities once I am comfortable with my current responsibilities, and I will look out for the opportunities to help others so that I can have more broader role, and based on that, definitely like I will try to make career progression in the current organization. So these are some of the quick things, and then finally last one, like whenever an interview is done, the best thing is like we need to find out like are there any kind of additional information which we are really looking out for. And whenever the interviewer asks like, okay, do you have any additional questions for me, we can just ask any relevant question which we could not get during our conversation with that interviewer. So what it gives is that it gives an impression to the interviewer that yes, they are genuinely interested, the participant is genuinely interested, and they are engaging, and they would like to clearly call out whenever like something is not really understood by them. One important thing is what I can say is like, see, like there are multiple forums which helps us to improve our communication and leadership skills. At least I can watch for Toastmasters International. It's a worldwide organization which helps in developing the leadership and communication skills. So whenever you get an opportunity, you can just go ahead and attend as a guest. And if you become a club member, definitely it's going to help you out on multiple facets. You will learn all the skills that Rupanjali has just covered, like time management, planning, organization, mentorship, leadership. Everything is covered as part of that particular program. So just try to look out for any areas or platforms or programs which can help you out in improving yourself on these skills. Definitely, if we start focusing on them over a period of time, we will be able to make good progress, and definitely others will recognize that efforts and they will start applauding you on those efforts. That's all we have for today. Do we have any questions which we would like to take up? Divya, Firdos, Joshna, Neha, Sneha, Vaishali. Okay, if not, I would like to thank Rupanjali for hosting this session today. Thank you, Rupanjali, for hosting this session today. And I request the participants, like if you have any kind of question, please feel to reach out to me or Rupanjali with any kind of topic, whether it could be like whatever the RISE programs that we did so far. And again, like I would like to reiterate, all the training tracks have been completed, testing Java and Hadoop. And today is the last session with respect to the communication and life skills. So we are done with that too. We are planning for the certificate distribution in the week of January 17th and 18th, 2022. We'll keep you posted on the RISE 2021 participants group. So we request you to just complete that respective assessments if not done yet, and brush up your skills. And if still anyone is yet to share their resume, please go ahead and share your resume so that we can circulate with the respective recruiters to get you placed into the mainstream workforce. Any closing comments, Rupanjali, you would like to have?
No hurry. It would be like just believe in yourself and share your resume, and look forward for any other any other sessions we might conduct. We might again see ourselves next year. So yeah, look forward for this window.
Sure. Okay then. Thank you all.
Thank you all. I am very glad to be a part of this RISE team. Thanks, Hari. Thanks, Rupa. Thanks, Nehal. Everyone helped us a lot. Thank you so much.
Sure. We are
Yeah,
going
this
to.
is thank you, Hari, Rupanjali, and we have learned a lot. So yeah, looking forward to to the new beginnings. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, we are there to support you, like to get placed actually. And I just forgot to mention, like we are going to have a thank you call where you can thank the respective trainers whom you thought like you got benefited from them. And at the same time, there will be a final survey on this program which we will be rolling out shortly. So I request each one of you to share your inputs so that like we can make it much better.
Okay.
Sure, Hari.
Thank you, Hari.
Okay then.
Thank
you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.